My brothers and sisters, throughout the Gospels, Jesus speaks repeatedly of light. We have the whole beginning of the Gospel of St. John, where we are reminded that Jesus comes to be the light of the world. But Jesus, of course, comes not only to shine forth for us, not only to be the light that guides our way. He comes inviting us to be members of his body, and so fulfill our mission in being extensions of his light and shining before others. Not that they may say how glorious we are, how wonderful we live, but that through our example, and particularly through our invitation, they may find ways of turning from darkness towards God's light. This turning towards the light is something that is part of our human project. It's a decision we make continually. And at times it can be a challenging decision, because whenever we step into a place that is in darkness and we turn on the light, on the positive side, we see the path that keeps us from bumping into objects, from stepping on things that are on the path that are going to hurt our feet. But when we turn on the light, we also see the dinginess. We see the dirtiness and the need for conversion. It might be preferable at times not to see the fullness of what is before us. But of course, to live in such a way is to live half-heartedly. To see our imperfections and our need for conversion is not a bad thing. It can be painful to realize that we are not as far along on the way to conversion as we would like to be. But of course, whenever we behold our imperfections, that is a great first step towards getting closer to our goal. And so the light always comes as a gift. We also have to remember that the light of Christ that shines for us is not a light that we can turn to in moments of convenience. We think of the lights in society that we depend upon. For instance, a lighthouse for seafarers as they're coming into port. It's not a light that they turn on and off at will. It's always shining there, always the beacon showing the path towards safety. Or more practically, for many of us, stoplights as we're driving along or trying to cross an intersection are not things that we turn on and off at will. To live in such a way would cause chaos and would snarl traffic and endanger people. The same with the light of Christ. It's a light that always shines brightly and a light that we must always be attuned to. It's great that we take this time to pray, to listen to the Word of God each day in the celebration of Mass. It's a beginning of allowing that light to enter in, but it's not enough. Throughout the day, we need to continue to turn towards the light, to take those words we hear in the gospel and bring them to heart, so that throughout the day, those words stand out for us. For instance, throughout today, as you go forth from Mass, you have that reminder. God's light shines before you. Find ways to seek that light and follow it, number one. But number two, God's light has come to dwell within you. Remember that as Christians, we're no longer a private people. Our life of faith is not meant to be something hidden from others. As much as we have times of prayer which are silent and private, the whole point of prayer is to kindle the light of Christ in us, to dispel the darkness of fear, doubt, and pain, so that we may go forth and be the light for others. So as we go forth from Mass, we do that with that continual reminder. The way I speak, the way I live, is the light that others need in their lives to turn from darkness and to find the right path. It's not an optional light or a temporary one. And the way that we live has that power, either to help people find the right path or to divert them down a murky and dark path. So today, as we celebrate this Mass, let us take Jesus' invitation seriously. First, let us rejoice that his light has come. Secondly, let us ask for that grace to receive that light and to let it shine in us and through us always.